So today's video is in reference to the Marvel Cinematic Universe of films. Um, I'd like to hold on, I got my Visual Basic book. I'd like to start out by saying I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I absolutely adore it. That's why I pulled out some MCU stuff to put on the desk today. Got my little dancing baby Groot. Lego MCU Spider-Man, Lego MCU Hulk, MCU Iron Man armors, which were there the rest of the time, but and little Lego Vulture. It's just a lot of Lego. I do have other MCU stuff, but I like Lego, so. So the point of today's video is like a little message to Marvel, and my message is simply stop. Stop undermining your drama with pointless comedy, okay? I understand that the MCU has a comedic tone throughout all of its movies to some capacity or another, which is absolutely fine. Comic relief is a well proven device. However, don't oversaturate your film with the comedy. It takes away from the point. It takes away from the drama. It takes away from the struggle of the film. Age of Ultron was a film that was ruined by this. Age of Ultron is a movie that should have been like a very dramatic, even a little scary movie, but Ultron was a joke. Ultron's character was a complete joke. Everybody else in that movie was a joke as well. It's fine to have humor, but when your villain is a jokester, it takes away from the overall threat of the villain, the perceived threat. Ultron is one of my favorite villains in comics. Because he's such an intense threat, because he's so seemingly unstoppable. But when he's cracking wise with the Avengers, it's not scary. Some of my favorite villains are villains based off their perceived threat levels, based off like how spooky they can be in concept. Like a lot of my favorite villains are people like Ultron, Doctor Doom, Thanos, Green Goblin, stuff like that. And the reason why that is because they can further a story dramatically. Whereas like the Hypno Hustler and stuff, they're joke characters. They're ha 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 ha. Oh, look how silly they are. Like Shocker is in the Ultimate Marvel universe. I nodded to my Ultimate Spider-Man on the bus, but you couldn't possibly know that unless you're really familiar with my layout. Point is, you can't go around, because I really hope this doesn't happen in Avengers 4. Avengers 4 should be nothing less than horrifying. We should be absolutely terrified for the heroes in the story. This is the first time that a lot of these characters are meeting. So you want there to be this witty banter, this back and forth. But when Thanos comes into the frame, when Thanos is there and he's fighting the Avengers, I do not want jokes. What I want are dramatic elements. I want death. I want to feel as though at any point they could lose. I don't want them to be friends with the villain. I don't want them to make jokes with the villain. There's a certain point in which you stop making jokes, okay? It's fine for Spider-Man to crack wise as he's beating the crap out of street-level thugs, But you notice Peter Parker wasn't making jokes in Spider-Man Homecoming when he was in the final battle with the Vulture. It was a tense moment, and that's what makes that film work so well. That's why the Vulture is probably my favorite MCU villain. It's because it works. It works. There's comedy throughout that film. It's a hilarious movie. But when it's time to pull up your pants, throw on your mask, and have a drag out brawl, they know how to cut the humor out. When Peter Parker's in that car with the Vulture, and the Vulture pieces together his secret identity and starts to threaten his family, it's dramatic. Okay, Peter Parker's then put in a position where he's not only risking his own life being involved with this, but he's risking the life of Ned. He's risking the life of Aunt May. He's risking the life of everybody he loves. Okay, he's already suffered significant loss, i.e., his parents, his uncle. The point is that moment is tense. Further, when he's on the plane with the Vulture, there's dramatic music. You feel the tension. You feel like at any moment anything can go wrong. When they crash on the beach in Coney Island, and the fire is ravaging the landscape, and Peter Parker has to try to save Vulture's life, despite the fact that he threatened to kill everybody he loves, and he tried to kill him himself several times. He's fighting not only for his own survival, but for the survival of the Vulture, because it's the right thing to do, and it's Liz's father, and he doesn't want Liz to go through the same sort of pain that he's gone through. Unfortunately, there is a bit of an inevitability there because of his being a villain. He has to go to prison. He has to face justice. And this is an interesting conflict for the film. This is an interesting conflict for Peter Parker. He loses the girl at the end as a result of his heroism, as a result of his saving the Vulture, as a result of his turning in the Vulture. He loses Liz Allen. And the point is that's all dramatic. There's no comedy there. There's, of course, comic relief, Ned, Peter himself, Karen. There's plenty of comedic beats throughout the film, but when it gets emotional, it gets emotional. When Peter Parker's stuck under that rubble and he has to push it off of himself, he panics. He's a kid, he panics at first. That's his first instinct. But then he gets a hold of himself. He remembers what Tony said. It's like, yeah, he's Spider-Man, I'm Spider-Man. He starts hyping himself up. He throws the rubble up, and we get this great Master Planner story arc, beat for beat, where he throws the rubble off of himself, the debris off of himself, and that moment is when he truly stops being Peter Parker and becomes Spider-Man. Okay, that's when he moves past being a child. That's when he evolves into the man that Uncle Ben wanted him to be. That's when he evolves into the Spider-Man. He's not just a kid in a man's costume anymore. He is Spider-Man. And this is later shown when Peter Parker denies a position on the Avengers, because his responsibility right now is on the ground. It's a great film. Anyway, point is, Thor Ragnarok is doing it. Age of Ultron did it. These should be dramatic movies with comedic elements, not comedies that undermine the conflict and the drama of the film. Alright, Ragnarok's the end of the world, okay? It's not ha ha ha, happy playtime. Infinity War, even more so. I'm going to be incredibly pissed off if Infinity War and the preceding film are all comedy, all laughs and games, and not actual conflict and drama. Anyway, I know this wasn't supposed to be what the video was today, but see you guys later. I hope you enjoyed. I enjoyed putting this out there. It was also kind of like a breakdown of Spider-Man: Homecoming. But yeah, like and subscribe and stuff, and you know, tell me what you thought about the video and stuff. Tell me what you think about what I said. See you later.